Alright guys, this is lesson 6 on trigonometry. Today we are going to do some problem solving questions and find the lengths and angles for each problem. Alright guys, reminder, this is your 3 trigonometry formulas. Okay, they won't be presented to you in an exam, so you need to memorize them. Remember the mnemonic, SOHCAHTOA. Okay, the method to work these out is to cover up the one you are looking for. Multiply if they are side by side and divide if one is above the other. Now, quick reminder to label them. If you had the sine ratio, you would have opposite over hypotenuse, and that's what the triangle would look like. You would have your hypotenuse and your opposite. For the cosine ratio, you would have the adjacent over hypotenuse, and the triangle will be hypotenuse and adjacent lengths will be given to you. And for the last one, tangent ratio, you would have the opposite and the adjacent, and on the right angle triangle, the lengths adjacent and opposite will be given to you. So remember the mnemonic, SOHCAHTOA. Alright guys, here's the first example of a problem solving question which includes trigonometry. So the question states a ladder leans against a wall at an angle of 75 degrees to the ground. The ladder is 4 meters long. What height does it reach up the wall? So we need to find out what height does the ladder reach up the wall. You need to highlight the key information, because sometimes in an exam all will be given to you is just the question, no sketches, so you will therefore need to sketch it. So we need to highlight the key information. So we know that the ladder leans against a wall at an angle of 75 degrees. The ladder is 4 meters long. So as you can see from this sketch here, we can see that this ladder here is 4 meters long. It leans against the wall at an angle of 75 degrees from the ground. Okay, and we need to work out what this length is here, where is up the wall. Okay, so first things first, let's label what we see. Okay, so put a right angle there because that's 90 degrees. Opposite my right angle is the hypotenuse. Opposite the angle is my opposite side, and we left over with the adjacent. Which one do we not need? Okay, everything, hypotenuse has the length of the ladder. The opposite, we are trying to work out how long is it up the wall, so adjacent is the one we cancel out. Okay, so we need to know from the trig formulas which one has opposite and hypotenuse, therefore that one is sine. Okay, so you make your triangle. Alright, so which one are we trying to work out? We're trying to work out the opposite side, so we shade or cover that one in. Then we are left with sine theta times by my hypotenuse. So you're going to write down sine theta or angle times that by my hypotenuse. Okay, now we can substitute our values in. Sine 75 degrees multiplied by my hypotenuse, which is 4, and you should therefore then get an answer of 3.86 meters. Alright, so what height does it reach up the wall? 3.86 meters, and that's to 2 decimal places. Okay, make sure you do your decimal places. Now guys, here's another problem solving question regarding trigonometry using angles. Okay, so let's have a look at the question. A 12-foot ladder rests against the side of a house. The top of the ladder is 9.5 feet from the floor. Calculate the angle that the foot of the ladder makes with the ground. Alright guys, first things first, you need to highlight the key information, because not all the time the sketches will be there for you. So a 12-foot ladder rests against the side of the house. The top of the ladder is 9.5 feet from the floor, and as you can see from the sketch, it is drawn for you already. We need to work out the angle of the foot of the ladder makes with the ground. Alright, so we need to label our right angle triangle. Opposite the right angle is my hypotenuse. Opposite the angle we're trying to find is our opposite side, and the adjacent below. Alright guys, which one do we not need out of them three? It's the adjacent, because it has no relevance to us. Okay, so we're trying to find a trigonometry formula with hypotenuse and opposite. And that one is the sine. Okay, sine, opposite and hypotenuse. Okay, we are trying to work out the angle, so we don't need this one here. We shade it in or cover it up, so we're left with the opposite over hypotenuse. Remember, this is an angle question, so let's write it out. Sine angle equals opposite over hypotenuse. Want to get the angle on its own, so you have to do the inverse. Okay, opposite over hypotenuse. Alright, now we can substitute our values into this equation. So our equation is angle equals inverse sine. Our opposite side is 9.5. Our hypotenuse is 12. Therefore, once you put that into a calculator, your answer should be 52 degrees.
Both set 3 and 4, you need to complete all the questions that are on this PowerPoint slide and upload your answers on class charts.